everybody. Episode 74, April the 30th. I'm Marie.
I'm Dominique. We are What's the Answer.
Dominique hasn't got the boards today. I'll let her explain to you why she hasn't got a boards with her.
Because I'm not in England.
Not in England.
I'll give you a clue to where I am. Borodar.
Yeah. Poppity Ping.
Is that right? I don't know what I've just said. Good morning, good day. I think I've just said hello to you in Welsh. I'm in Wales. I'm on Anglesey. I arrived about 25 minutes ago. I've not packed the car, but we're here. So that's why we're late. That's why we're now late. I am sorry, everybody, but I couldn't get until 3:30.
We did a test before just to make sure everything's right. We're as usual having issues with internet. We don't know whether it's Dominique, but I probably not. I'm sat in the room with the most internet that should be working. It says it's working, but it's absolutely teeming down. So
it's fine now. It's just at the very beginning, and it does seem to be. Oh no, actually, it doesn't. It quite often happens midway. But here we are.
We're here.
We're international.
And we're sort of matching colours, and we didn't even know, did we? I mean, look at that.
I've just had to strip off because it's boiling in here, so which is why I'm a bit red. But
I've got to say, I like your picture behind you. What is it of anywhere in particular, or is it just a standard picture? Is it anywhere Welsh?
I think that is looking across the Menai Strait at potentially Snowdon.
It's a very nice picture.
I mean, I've not even been in the bedroom. I've not explored yet. I've put the fresh stuff in the fridge, and I brought the box out with the podcast stuff. That's all I'd got emptied out the car.
That is dedication for you, I've got to say. You know, you've got there on holiday, and the first thing you're thinking of is the wonderful people to watch. I surprised myself how organised I was, thinking as I packed the car, that needs to be in last. Are we out there? Because it's not even popping up on mine. Yeah, we're up there. It's funny because Dominique had to drop some wool off at mine on a journey. And I did say to her, have you got enough stuff in your car? So I did look to say that there's only one person going on holiday for 1 week. It was full. That's what you like to see. Lots of projects, jigsaws I saw. I
did take a picture, but as my iPhone, it does this every now and again. It just won't focus on anything. It's blurred.
That's really quite good for you.
I think it's a fairly big boot, but 2 of them are food, 1's clothes, 2 of them are knitting related, and there's some jigsaws. So
pointed your sewing machine's not there. You normally have your sewing machine with you, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't bring all of the project bags and a sewing machine. That would have been that's not all of them. That would be a bit too ambitious.
I've got to say, when Dominique and I, and it's such a long time since we've done it, when we have gone away together, like for a long weekend, the car's hilarious, honestly, because we always go, right, we're not taking many clothes, and it's not normally the clothes, is it? It's the other stuff. Wool, projects, knitting, alcohol, food. Food, there's enough food before we even get there, isn't there? Because we both raid our houses and go, right, well,
the amount of stuff. I think I've just unpacked, and I think I've got 4 blocks of Feta. So I just emptied the fridge.
You know, what are you doing with 4 blocks of Feta?
I am enjoying baked Feta at the minute.
Okay.
But instead of thinking, how many do I'll just bring it with me and take it back.
Well, it's different for you, isn't it? Because there's just you, so there's no point in your food sitting there. You may as well take it with you. Yeah, exactly. So yes, don't worry, Lynn. The jigsaws were there. There were even unopened jigsaws I saw. So you know,
3 brand new jigsaws. If I get a chance to sit and do them with everything else that's here. But yeah, jigsaw board.
Are you going to try and break your own record? What's the fastest you've got it down to at the minute then?
I mean, it is really difficult because everything, I always do a different jigsaw, but the quickest is 5 minutes. 5 hours. But the last one I did, that Sherlock Holmes one, took me over 7 hours. because that was hard.
Nice.
But, you know, it was last Monday when... Yeah, you'll enjoy it. It is hard, but you'll enjoy it. And there's a big poster, so you have the picture, and then on the back, there's some little things that you have to find that are in the puzzle.
Because I used to have a porter puzzle, and I don't know where the heck it went to, but Dad has got two. One was Mum's, so he said, oh, I'll bring it down for you. So I've got it now, so at least I can have a jigsaw, so Mr. Hammond doesn't like get palpitations when he sees jigsaw on the table. You know, I can at least hide it underneath the sofa so he can, you know, he doesn't get, oh, there's stuff laid about. I mean, I make him out to be, you know, he does have to live with me in my chaos. I am tidy, but I do things, and, you know, if I'm doing something, I would leave it out, but he wouldn't. He would tidy it all the way and then get it out each time he wanted it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of living by yourself. You can, although now I've got it down to like 5 hours, it's done in an afternoon.
My Lord. I mean, well, as it's pouring down with rain, I can wear my cardigan today because it's cold. It is blooming freezing. I can't tell you, it is absolutely chucking it down here.
And I was saying to Maria, I don't know if you can see.
I mean, just, I've told her if she's not careful, I'll be getting in my little car and I'll be heading up
there. It is hot, but
so I'm wearing this, and I am thinking I need a navy one. I want a blue one. I love it so much. It's just, it's one of those that you just want to go like that in.
And the pattern says that, doesn't it? The pattern says that's what it's made for, like an oversized, just a hugging a.
It's a hugging a cardigan. That's exactly what it is. That's what the tagline should be. A hug in a cardigan. So I just need to find some navy wool, I think.
Navy and coal reef. Let's see what difference it makes.
Yeah, I could do actually, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I could go peacock, but no, maybe I could go coral reef again.
I mean, peacock would, but it'd just be an interesting experiment.
Maybe I need to do another order at Wensleydale Long Wool Sheep Shop for the navy cap.
It looks beautiful.
It's really.
If you want the navy, you need the navy wool, and then you can decide what you put with it.
But I'm with you. Maybe that's a good idea. It just then would be completely different. It would be interesting to see.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm just trying to catch up on the comments. Thank you, Mandy. Mandy's going to North Yorkshire on Monday. Have a lovely time. Caroline's saying her Lincoln jigsaw came. Caroline introduced orders, but I've been and bought them. They're called WYP. I'd like to show you, but it's in the car. And they're jigsaws of towns and cities. So I've got a Lincoln one and a Keswick one because it's one of my favourite places. So they're beautiful. Caroline had done a Newark one, and she said her Lincoln one's just come. So
I'm going to have a look at those. I quite fancy one. Having a look, and I think, I bet they're a nice idea.
Well, I've got the Lincoln one, so I think that's my first one I'm going to do while I'm up here, I think. So I'll keep you posted. Good.
Well, I'm sat here and all I can smell is my wonderful dog. He's been for a pamper today, not in a bad way. He smells like a baby who's been covered in talcum powder. He went to have his nails clipped, and he's had a bath and a hairdryer thing, and he smells absolutely gorgeous. So now he's not skidding across the floor anymore because he's old. He hasn't been going out as much and he can't walk as far, so his nails weren't getting warm.
Oh, they weren't wearing down.
And of course, through COVID, you couldn't just go and get nails clipped unless it was, medical thing. So I've had to wait a bit. So now it's nice that he's walking on the floor. Just you eat your biscuit, walking on the floor on his little paws properly now. And but it does smell. It's really quite overpowering. But she said he absolutely loved it because I've never really taken him before because I normally just shove him in the shower myself. But she said he loved the bath. And she said he liked his massage. I mean, he's been thoroughly spoiled. He's had a massage. And then she said, and he loved it when I blow dried him. I thought, well, he will do because he's just, he loves people, doesn't he? He was in his element, absolutely. So I booked him in for another one in 2 months' time.
I was going to say, and I mean, you normally say he smells of boys' feet. So
he does smell of cheesy feet. So he doesn't at the minute. He smells lovely, but it's really it's like quite overpowering. But he's fast asleep, bless him. He's completely conked out.
Oh, He's obviously enjoyed it. That's how you should feel when you come back from a spa day.
Oh, whoa.
I know, I've just seen.
Snow in Blackburn?
I've got to say, I did, as I was coming over, I thought,
Snow?
that might be snow within, it was sleet.
Oh, my life.
Over.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, well, at least my plants are getting watered, along with me 9-foot olive tree.
And I saw it just as I was pulling away.
I mean, it was so funny because it's beautiful. I was expecting it to be bigger. I was expecting it to be taller.
It did look about 9 foot to me.
It does look 9 foot, but I don't know why I got it into my head that it was going to be taller. But it's a beautiful tree, but it needs watering, but it's so heavy I didn't dare water it yesterday because I thought we won't be able to move it over the lump of wood.
Oh, yeah.
So I've left it for David. He'll be happy with that. Marie, did I do single neckband or... Come on, Sue, I did single. I'm not going to knit any more than I have to.
I did for my second one. I did I followed the pattern all the way for the first one, and I thought it just added too much bulk for me.
I love it. It's just the right neckline for me. I love it. I love it. So no, I did a single neckline, and then everything else. I followed the pattern. I didn't because I just I only did a shorter rib. A little bit of a rib because I wanted a long length cardigan like a jacket cardigan.
Yes.
And I'm not keen on long, like short cardigans with long ribs. They just don't suit me. So I went long, and I hate ribs, so that's why I didn't do a lot of rib on it. I didn't.
I did long rib on the arms, but I didn't do as deep a rib as the pattern said because I'm like you. I just hate rib.
Yeah.
It looks nice if you're going to wear it cropped, but I added length to it anyway. So
yeah, I think like I said, I haven't blocked it. I mean, it comes over my bust and my stomach. I could have maybe done it, although it fits nice here. Do you know what I mean? It fits really nice there. I don't know. I just probably need to block it. And like I say, I've not washed it. I think when I do wash it, it's gonna expand a little bit. I've just put it on. I just wore it. So yeah. Right. Well, I mean, we could get on with some
knitting.
Would you like to see a finished object?
Yes.
I mean, I did put it on social media, my wonderful blocking techniques. If you've never seen what I do before, it's not from any amazing, it's because I can't be what I hate blocking. We all know that. If you watch this podcast, you'll know that I hate blocking. I know it needs doing. I'm
going to come on to something in a minute with my first item I've got to show you.
No, as you saw, I just shove it, I trap it. I mean, you can see where I've trapped that bit. I trap it in the window and just stretch it. It probably needs a bit of a steam, which I haven't done, but it's because I've had it on today. So this is my version of the Slip Stravaganza, and I've only done one set of points because it's still, I mean, look, it's massive still.
I'm going to ask a question I know the answer to.
Yeah.
How full did you use?
I have no idea. Do you want me to weigh it?
I knew that was going to be your answer. No, but what I'm saying is it's still big, so there's still quite a lot of wool in there, isn't there?
Well, how much did we say I'd used on the last one? 270 grams or something?
Nearly 300, yeah.
So I would say I've used a lot less on this one. So I would probably say about 200 grams I've used on this.
Yeah.
I'll measure it. I will weigh it though. But
you didn't start with full balls, or you?
No, the only full ball I had was my Mellifluous.
Yes.
From yeah, can't remember.
I'll be able to tell you.
That was the only one that was a full ball. Everything else was ours. So it's the
Lockwood.
That's right, Lockwood Fibre. So the magenta is our yak. It's a good job I've got Dominique, isn't it? And then our olive on yak, and then the pale purple is the new lilac colour. So I literally was just using up scraps, and I think it's a fantastic. And again, it's completely different to my other colour one, but I really like it. It's such a nice...
it is, like we've said, I don't know how many times, colours just change patterns. And that's so different to your first one, but it's fab.
I love it. Really nice.
And that started really from the Lockwood Fibre yarn that you got, and you're a bit like, what shall I do with it?
And I knew I wanted to knit another one, but probably not as soon as I have done. But no, I'm really, really, really happy with that. But we were talking about this the other night, weren't you, on knitting, that he's now doing a blanket. It's in double knit. Let me put it there, and then at least you can see it. A double knit blanket, and it's absolutely massive. I dread to think how many. I mean, it's beautiful, but I have not got the patience or the willpower to sit and do that. No.
But like I said, well, I mean, we all spend money on yarn, and everyone's got different budgets. But how much is it going to cost?
Yeah, it costs a lot of money, but it is beautiful.
You've really got to want to do it and know you'll use it.
Well, it's as tall as him, and it's circular. So it's more. It's absolutely massive. It's stunning, absolutely stunning. But can you imagine the weight of it, knitting it? Unless he's done it, I don't know. Unless it's joined somewhere, you do it, but it doesn't look as though it is.
But at some point, you've still got to bring everything together, haven't you?
Yeah, it's huge, but it is beautiful. I saw it and thought, oh my Lord, that's lovely. Oh my Lord, how many stitches? That was the first thing I thought. I bet there's gazillions.
I mean, he does. I can't think. He did one again in double knit. It's the one that's like you knit lots of almost different triangles and pick up, and it's
these.
Is it the vertices? I can't remember. That's in double knit, but the amount of yarn and colours you need for that, it's a big undertaking.
Yeah. So I'm chuffed a bit with it, and I've got a pale purple coat, which is the same colour as that lilac, and it looks lovely with it. So I'm happy.
Excellent.
What have you got?
Lisa's saying, can you imagine the I-cord cast
off? Oh, Lisa. No. Can you? I mean
I think you would have to, well, this is how I would have to do it, because it's just the way my brain works. I think I would be like, I'm going to do half an hour a day. Do you know what I mean? Right, just think, I'm going to break it down into chunks and just think, set an alarm, do half an hour.
And that's what I did on this, because there's no easy way to do it. And it's only 3 stitches. I mean, you're only talking of like 3 stitches and you're moving them over. It's the moving them over. There isn't a quick way to do it. You can't even put your needle in and move them. I mean, I was sat doing it the other day on knitting that, and every time I put it down, the lights fell off the needle, because you're literally just on the end bit. But it didn't matter, because you can see your stitches. But can you imagine, Lisa? I mean,
you were chuntering on knit and natter, weaving your ends in.
I was chuntering, you're right. I was having a proper chunter. Oh,
the ends.
Halfway through. But the thing is, it's such a beautiful cast off. You need to do it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Halfway through, you do think, oh, could I not have just cast
But
it
it off? Is worth it. It is worth it.
Worth it. But, so what have you got then to show us?
Well, you were with your blocking. So the business really has bought blocking boards and wires. And I'd had them all, and then Marie said, oh, let's split them, because Marie wants to block them. So, which is brilliant, until I come to block something and I need them.
Have you bought some more?
No,
we need to buy some more.
No, it's fine. But I did it, and fortunately it was outside at the weekend when it was really nice. And when I ran out of blocking boards, I just did it on the grass. And that's because...
All I'm going to say is, Dominique, we can buy some more. Oh, my... That is beautiful. That is huge. Oh my Lord. So how many balls?
That's why I ran out of blocking boards. I mean,
that is beautiful. I like it.
So that is 200 grams. I mean, I'm in a different country, people, and I've remembered to bring this. Oh,
Rub it in.
I've just got myself in a bit of a tangle, but that is all I've got left from the 2 balls.
Wow.
Not enough to do 2 more rows, and obviously patterns rows of 2. That is all I had. And I did say I was just going to keep going, but that is my Zick Zack cast off. It just
beautiful.
The colours. You could never ever imagined with the 2 balls that I started with. You know, look at that. It's all blues, and then you go into green.
It's like the one Stuart showed on our Knit and Natter. Stuart did one in browns and like colours, weren't they? It's absolutely stunning. And he did massive as well. It's like you don't realise how long a scarf it makes out of the two Zowl.
I mean, the poster is 200 grams, and I did mine. It's wide as well.
That's gorgeous.
So I've not measured it, but it's got to be 2 and a bit meters long.
Flipping heck.
I would think. I will, but yeah. I mean, I know it's taken a while, but I always said this was a bit of a.
Tied up at the door because the door's 2.2 meters. That's what Mr. Hammond always tells me. Door's 2.2 meters. You were probably right. 2 meters.
I was probably right. I'm not bad at guesstimating. So that's my Zick Zack. And I will cast another one on because I enjoy. I was about to say monotonous, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Just that rhythmical. I enjoyed it. So
I've made 2 cowls out of mine, but I've got some of the Zowl balls left, and I had started doing a cowl, but I think what I'm going to do is just use the 2 Zowl balls I've got left, you know, like you've done, and then just make a long scarf out of it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you say you don't particularly wear. I will wear that. Yeah. I like scarf.
But look at that. I might do because it's lacy, isn't it?
Yes.
It looks really nice.
It looked nice when I finished it, but blocking it really has made it's drapier and it's opened the lace bit up.
I think that we can afford out of the business to purchase some more blocking pins. You see, the blocking pins I like the blocking pins. Yeah. But one box for me is not enough because I run out of them, and then I think, now what am I going to use? Oh, I'm not using them wires. Don't like them. Not using the pins.
I hate the wires. I hate threading them, but for something like that, it just makes it.
But pins, more of them pins. That's what we need. We need loads of them pins. That's it. Just pins.
But I did start putting pins in, and unless you put them right next to each other, because actually I was pulling it quite tight in 2 directions, so I did have to sit on the floor and weave the wires in. But it was worth it.
Mandy, that's exactly what it is. Mindfulness knitting.
It is.
It is very much like mindful knitting.
For someone like me who likes numbers, because I'm just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You met Dominique. Well, talking of mindfulness knitting, that's how I'm feeling. I mean, I've done this. I've stopped in the middle of a row. I shouldn't do that, should I? If I'm
no
talking.
Not on a Friday.
But this is the it's the leaf shawl by Nicola Green that I'm knitting.
Thieves.
That is very. I mean, you still can't see, but it's slowly changing to a darker green. It's really subtle, and that again is just a very. I mean, you can see where that's going to need some serious blocking, isn't it? It is.
You're definitely going to need wires for that.
It is beautiful, and this is the same. Not as easy a pattern to remember as the Zick Zack, but it's not. Once you've set it, I know where I'm at, so I don't have to look at it. But it is beautiful. I'm really liking that, and I'm desperate to get to the blues. I can't wait. And as somebody pointed out the other day from knitting, yes, I'm going through the middle. What have you done to me? What have you done? But it is getting to that. It's getting to that. Giving up on life again in the middle. So what I end up doing is I pull that now, and then I tape it. So I then end up with a bigger, like it's all squished up again, because I just can't cope with it, seeing it go.
It only does it with you.
It's not nice. It's not nice. So So you can just see it's started to go into the darker green bit. Can't see there on, but it's really subtle. So I'm enjoying that.
And that's what you said you wanted.
Yes.
You wanted a nice fade.
Yeah. And that was Sue suggested I did that because she'd been knitting one, and it looked really pretty. And because it's cotton, I thought it's going to be nice and drapey for whenever I can go on holiday abroad. It'll be one of those nice ones to just wrap around you, you know, on a night.
Or as the weather gets nicer, even here, when it's during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that bit, I'd sort of sit by the pool with that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Wrap.
I mean, it's growing from last week, but that again is probably going to be a slow finish.
Lynn saying I need a yarn ball. It's not the yarn ball, it's me, Lynn. It's when it just in the middle, I don't like it. And I'm no good with yarn balls. I've got a beautiful yarn ball, but because I mean, look what I've just done there. This is what I do with my knitting. I just scrumple it up, and then I go scrumple it up, and then I do that by the side where I'm sitting. And sometimes it lands on the on my nice knitting bag, and then when I put it in, I'll literally just shove it in my bag. So that's why I always get it out and go. Oh, I've dropped a few.
So we know, because I do exactly the same. I don't treat my knitting with any more reverence than that.
Yeah.
But I just don't get things in a tangle. Whereas it has a sort of spell on her fingers that just knots things.
I have something to show you.
Oh.
Again, it's psychological, Sue. I don't like to see the ball of wool collapse in the middle. I don't know what it is. It just does something to me. It just doesn't make me happy. So putting it in a pop sock or anything, I have to just literally tighten it up so I can't see that gap in the middle.
And there's nothing brings me more pleasure than watching a ball go from a cake from the inside, and then you just get left to through it. It's magic.
It's not. I'm just going to disappear a little bit because I forgot to give you this when you came.
Okay. Right. Well, while you're doing that, I've got something else to. There's two bits of admin I've written down I can do while Marie is not there. So we've still got the last two giveaway winners. You've not made contact with us. Beverly, Jean, make contact with us either email or Ravelry or Instagram, and if not, we're going to draw two more winners. So that's just a reminder for Jean and Beverly. And then just before you show me, I told you I'd let it know when it's gone. The navigation cowl that I finished last week.
I love that.
Today. So it's Beanie Boat on Instagram and Ravelry. It's called the navigation cowl, and it's £1 all weekend. And it takes 2 40-gram double knits, knitting the round. But I just wanted to, I did say I would let everyone know when it was released, and she's released.
You say her name, you say it.
Beanie Boat.
Beanie Boat. You always said so nice. I like it. I wish I could say it like Beanie Boat. Say it again.
Beanie Boat.
Beanie Boat. Beanie Boat.
I mean, I am not posh. That's just how I say boat. Beanie Boat.
Right, Mandy, yeah, you've gathered what happened. I'm sorry.
Oh, do you know what I was really thinking? It was a present for me.
It is a present for you.
But it's been perfect for me while I was away.
I forgot to give you it today. It was all right-ish. And then I was winding it, and the machine got tangled up. It sometimes does. It gets tangled up on itself, and so I had to stop it. So it had like wound really tightly, so it was in a tight ball. So I then started doing it from the inside, which I can do, which is how I do the little balls. So I was doing that, and then all of a sudden, all that came out in a big clump, and I thought, oh, this isn't going to go well. So I then thought, no, I can do this. And I thought, no, I'm going to stop.
That is always the thought, because I will be able to undo that fairly quickly.
Yeah, because that's not too bad. That's good. Yeah. I've left that in a good state for you, haven't I? Yeah. Look, but you can see it's starting to.
Just leave it all in a bag. That I can do that. You see, it's something to do with puzzle brain, and
I've learned to leave it. I have tried in the past to untangle it, and then it's like the worst ball of spaghetti. And then 3 days later, Dominique's got it. So that was your present to take on holiday.
Oh, maybe it's a good thing, and I can crack on with my jigsaws. Yes. I'll do that when I'm back.
So I have been good. It's in a bag, and I am not touching it. I did think maybe I could try, and then I just thought, who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? I haven't got the patience for it at all. Just no. So
with so many things, I have no patience at all. But with,
isn't it weird?
Yeah, with you know, something like that, I would spend hours doing that and enjoy it.
Yeah, you see me sitting and cross stitching and whatever. I can sit for ages, like little things like that. I can make little knitted things.
Yeah.
But I do have fingers that just, yeah. I don't know what happens. It just goes into a.
But it doesn't, because like with cross stitch, you're using threads all the time. You don't get tangled with that.
Well, I would cut it, wouldn't I? That's the problem. I would just cut it. I have no patience in undoing a knot. To me, if you can't go like that and the knot doesn't pop out, it doesn't work, does it? That's where I hate it. I like to just cut. That's my philosophy. If you can't do that and it like pops out,
and that's when I have to. That's when I have to shout to Marie, "Don't pull it!
Don't pull it! Don't pull it!"
Because then it's knotted. But I look forward to that.
Good.
I look forward to that when I come back.
I'm pleased I've brightened your day just a little bit.
Oh dear.
It's such a long time though, because I have really worked out now, because I do all the winding. I've learned now how to sort the skeins out. I can tell now, as soon as I look at them, I can tell if it needs a bit more jiggery, you know. I can tell where before I used to put it on and just hope for the best. Now I can.
Just assume it was all right.
Just assume it was all right, even though the tags were right. Sometimes they're not, because the tags are still in the same place and they look fine, but it's because it's while it's being washed, it's gone inside itself. And if you don't do it after it's on the winder, it's a nightmare.
Oh, Victoria's with me. She loves untangling knots.
Horses for courses.
I think when I retire and I've got more time, I could do that. Just, you know.
You would be happy, wouldn't you, untangling people's?
Post me a tangled thing with a stamped addressed envelope. Let me sit and watch the cricket or the snooker. I'll post it back to you.
Don't send it to me. Don't send it to me at all.
Unless you want it in like half-metre lengths.
We make a good partnership. We've said this before, though, aren't we? We're similar. Absolutely. We're similar, but we're completely different as well, aren't we? You know, there's things that I cannot do, Dominique's brilliant at, and vice versa. It works well. Works really well. Right.
Have you got some more knitting?
I've got some more knitting. I've got a new cast on. Would you like to see the new cast on?
Yes.
This is a pattern handmade by Kunbi, who has designed some of our designed one of our shawls, a crocheted shawl, and it's the Arewa short sleeve pullover. I love that photo of her. I mean, how happy does she look on that photo?
Can you
Arewa with a what's it face on?
Yeah.
So it's a full lace pattern in double knit, knit top down.
I mean, we've said before, haven't we? We met Kunbi
at the first
like 2019 at Woolmonty.
Yeah.
It was just such that photo. I think is just epitomises her in a photo because she was so happy and smiley and
so
I'm
using this wool that I don't even know why I bought it. It's 100% cotton, recycled cotton by Paint Box Yarns. It's double knit, and this colour is called Tea Dance. And I did check with Kunbi, because when you read the pattern, it didn't say you could use 100. So I checked if it would be all right, and she said that one of her test knitters had done it in cotton.
It is beautiful.
It's really pretty. But the only thing is, I gave myself a headache the other day. I mean, it doesn't take.
Well, I was going to say, did you? Because that was knitting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
While we were on Knit and Natter, you were trying to take it back.
I had to take it back, but it's because it's cotton. You know what knitting with cotton? There's no giving it at all, is there? It's just like knitting with string. No giving.
I mean, I'm surprised you're doing it because you hate it normally.
So there's no giving it at all. So I've done 2 increases. When I was doing the increases, it's a lot of make ones and knit couple, make ones. So it gets quite tight for me because I'm a tight knitter. So normally I'm knitting like this down here. And then I was like getting, like my needles were like, I was like this. And I thought, right, get yourself sorted out. And I'd gone to bed on Wednesday night. And I'd been tensing myself so much trying to get my needle in after I'd done it that I then gave myself a headache, like neck pain. I wasn't very good yesterday. I was a bit grotty all day because it brings on like fake migraines in some respects. They're not true migraines, but I get like that horrible feeling. I felt a bit sick yesterday, hence why I wasn't really responding to many messages in the afternoon. Sorry, Dominique. So I'm loving the pattern, and now I'm just about done my increases. So only on the increase row I have to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's not going to be that many, is there? And then you can just get into a rhythm of.
Exactly, but it's a really nice pattern, really simple. You split for the sleeves, and then literally there's not much of a sleeve to do because it is just like a very capped sleeve.
Yeah.
So I'm really enjoying that. And I
You're going
for summer.
Leaf heavy.
Pardon?
That's got your leaf heavy. That's got leaf
heavy. Yeah.
That's your leaf shawl is.
It is. It is. You haven't missed anything about this long, Judith. We're still in sorting it out. There's nothing been announced yet, so don't panic. So I am really enjoying that, but I do need, and I don't think it helps because I about every year, how my eye goes a bit funny and it goes all bloodshot. I sneezed the other day, and I think that's what did. It sneezed, and I can always tell when it's going to happen because my eye gets quite dry. So I've either rubbed my eye in my sleep or I've sneezed, and my eye. That's what I won't go close because it's not pretty. My eye's gone bloodshot again. So not only did I have my bloodshot eye, which is nothing to worry about before anybody panics and says to me, it's nothing to worry about. And then I had me weird neck thing going over my head like that yesterday. I felt a bit sorry for myself, so I put myself underneath my weighted blanket, Tracy, on the sofa, snuggled up to my dad, and I had 40 winks. And I felt much better, but I still wasn't quite right. But this morning, I took myself out for a walk. But my eyes are weird.
Sometimes you just need to go to sleep in an afternoon.
Exactly. Yeah.
We all need it every now and again.
So that's why I didn't answer your messages yesterday, because I had
work anyway, so it was only it made no odds to me. I just, when I get 5 minutes, I pick up my phone, and then sometimes it can be hours before I.
And I didn't do any knitting yesterday, and I haven't done any this morning. So I'm just going to sit here, and I'm just going to, because I just need to not leave it in the. Just not leave it in the middle. Because that's not very sensible, is it?
Well, you've got a new cast on. I'll see your new cast on.
What, you're going to raise it by? Oh, go on.
I'm going to raise it by Barbara. And look at how that is knitting up.
My Lord, you have really cracked on with that.
So I just fancied a contrast toe. I don't know why. I just thought a striped sock with contrast toe and potentially heel and cuffs, but in different colour because I've not got enough. But look how perfectly that orange matches the orange stripe.
I looked at it and couldn't believe how it looked like you dyed it to specifically that colour.
And it's not, it's just magic. So I am going to do a true afterthought heel for the very first time because I don't want to interrupt my stripes. And I mean, I did do the toes 2 at a time, But then I went to join the Barbara, West Yorkshire Spinners, and then I realised what's going to happen, like it was going to with the Regia that you bought me for Christmas. My stripe's going to go in the wrong direction. So I'm being very good. I'm doing them one at a time so that I'm going to try and match the stripes.
You see, with the Hope, I just went from the middle and the outside, and you couldn't really, if you sat and looked at it, you go, oh, the colours have gone the wrong, but you couldn't tell. But that's dedication. I'm liking that.
And I'm not like that at all. Normally I'm like, well, it really doesn't matter. But because I don't know, these are just my colours. And I just thought, if I'm going to do it, let's do it. Let's try and do it right. So
Right.
I didn't realise, because it was just how the inside the ball came. It actually started, the orange is the last colour.
Yeah.
Before, so
I mean,
actually,
that's even more weird, isn't it?
but that was not planned. And because the stripes are like 2.5 rows each. Who was saying on Wednesday? Was it someone was saying on Wednesday, because the stripes, it was Lisa with her Regia socks, her Arnie and Carlos socks.
Oh, yes.
They just get quicker. And it is true.
Yeah.
Because the other night I was sat and I thought, oh, I've just about had enough. And then you could see a colour change come in. You think, I'll just get to that colour change. Oh, I'll just get to the next colour change. So anyway, that is, let's see how they go. I've never done a true afterthought heel, so I'm going to knit a tube, put my cuff on. I'm going to do both socks and then I'll put the heels on. So it'll be a little while yet, but
weren't you talking about something of how you like doing the afterthought heel and knitting one way and then knitting the other way to get it in the right place?
Yeah, that was, I was saying, I can't remember whose podcast it. I think it was Cherie of Ellie of Bella and Coco, but don't hold me to that. She does them cuff down. So she knits her cuff, she knits her leg, and then she knits about 2 or 3 inches onto a foot, and then she goes and she does an afterthought heel then. So then she's got a heel and carries on knitting so she can keep trying it on so she gets it to the exact fit.
That's good.
Which I did think was a good idea. It's a good way of fitting. I'm never going to do, well, not saying never, but I don't enjoy doing cuff down, so it won't work for me. But if you do a cuff down, that's a good way of putting a true afterthought heel on.
Yay!
So I've always said I fancy doing a true afterthought heel, so I thought this is going to be it. Lynn's saying teal or olive. I mean, the olive would definitely go, but I think the lilac might. Actually, the petrol would as well.
But we've done that mini set now, haven't we? Because when we were looking at it, the mini set actually goes with the Barbara.
Yeah, but I can't remember what's in it.
Magenta.
Yeah.
Scarlet. Denim.
Yes.
Artichoke.
Yes.
And I can't.
And something else.
No,
There'll be plenty.
Yeah, that's it. That's the 5. It was weird. We didn't do it deliberately. It was only when we put it together for and we were showing you the wool, and it was like, oh my goodness. So is that orange the orange that we normally have?
That's how much I've got left of the orange. So I'm definitely not going to get everything out of it. So I thought, contrast heel, different toe, different cuff. They're going to look fab.
It will look fab. I like that. Right, you'd be pleased to know I've stopped. I'm back off the end of the line, and I haven't got myself in too much of a tangle, and I've untangled myself all in one go.
Well, I am loving the Barbara. And have I seen that they've said they're now selling the Barbara?
Yeah. You can get the yarn on it. I'm just.
You can get the yarn. You don't buy it as a kit with the bag. So, Tracy, we are whizzing along with our WIPs.
I mean, we go through stages like this. We don't have anything, and then we have loads. And I mean, look how long it took me to knit a cardigan. It's only take me how long? 2 years nearly? A year? 2?
I mean, it has changed.
It has changed numerous times. But I think I might have to order some of the Wednesday long wool.
Yeah.
Because I really like how it's knit up.
Yeah. Well, you also know you're going to get the same size. You're not changing yarns that's going to be different.
Exactly. I was thinking that. Do I just go for a different, you know? And then I thought, no, because I know how this is knitted up and I like it. Although I was covered in fluff. But this time I'll be covered in blue fluff and it'll go with the sofa.
And you can do it outside now more and it'll blow away.
Exactly.
Barbara's buddies are lovely with it. I might have to look at one of Barb. I've got a petrol minis. That I think is the
if you need me to post you anything, I can post you something up. I've got orange.
That I probably won't do much on my sock now. That has been sat lunchtime knitting. I don't have to think about it and I can just go round and round. Or I was knitting it last night while I was doing the quiz. So when I don't need to think, it's easy knitting.
Blooming eye looks like Kenzie Bly. I look like I've got that weird thing going on my eye. I didn't realise how dirty my glasses are. I mean, goodness, I'm surprised I can even see out of them. Well,
have you got any more?
No, you have though, haven't you?
Yeah.
This pause is just for you, Lucy. I did have to laugh because I sometimes think, which picture am I going to choose? And I was going through it and I just giggled because it was like I was just sat doing this and you were being dead, you know.
It was the best picture of me. I was like, what? Why have you picked that? And then I realised your post and I thought that's why. You can see who picks the pictures.
Oh dear. Normally, I don't try and get a good one of either of us in particular. Do you know what I mean? I just try and encapsulate what was going on that day. Sometimes they're good if we can get them where we're both laughing at the same time. They're usually the best ones. So,
or with both cakes of yarn in our hand or something. Following on from the success of the Sunday cardigan, and I just love that fit. So I've gone for
pattern expression. What?
So it's got the same neck.
Is it from the same pattern people?
No, she does do a Sunday sweater. I mean, that's pale pink, so you can't really see. But it's just the same. You start with like a 2x2 rib, an increase, and then it's just... it's called the... it's French, so I don't really know how you say it.
Calliope. Calliope.
But I think it's French. It is. It's from Espace Tricot, which are a Canadian company, but French-Canadian. It's a free pattern.
Ooh, we like a free pattern.
So,
thank you,
because I've got not got a garment on the needles. I thought I'm just going to cast it on. I mean, that's all I've done so far. But I have just cast it on, and again, it's going to be a pick it up and just go round. It's knitting the round, top down. Once you've done your increases for your rib,
nice,
and split the sleeves, it's just plain knitting.
I like
so,
it.
And I'm using Stash Up. So that is the Drops Fable.
I'm just about to say, is it your Drops? Oh, that's a nice bag.
I needed something. I needed something to fill the bag, didn't I? I know you've all seen it before, but it just makes me smile. Look at that. Oh no, it's not Drops Fable, it's Drops Flora. So I had loads left from my Mild Mania. So it's the same colour as my Mild Mania. I did say I was never going to do another 4-ply garment, but I've cast it on. So I don't know what happened there, but I'd obviously pulled too much out and I've just wrapped it round. So it's going to be a slow grow, but I just like that neckline and I thought it fits nicely.
Nice. That's very nice.
I like my stitch marker. So, yeah, free pattern. And I thought, well, I'll give it a go again. Because it's in pink, you can't really see.
No.
But it's got really long rib on the sleeves.
That's
not
pretty.
Not so much on the body. Say that again.
Looks really pretty, that, though.
Yeah. I mean, that colour would not suit me. It looks really pretty. It's meant to be done in 4-ply and a mohair.
Right.
I didn't want to... I'm trying to use Stash Up, and I didn't want to buy mohair to add to it.
No.
So it's only 4-ply. On a 4 mil.
Go on a 4.
It is really loose. I'm still not sure I like the fabric. I don't know, but I'm just going to get a bit more done and see. I just think 4 mil. Oh no.
Do you knit from the ball or cake it up? Judith, is that for Dominique? Or if it, to me, well, I'll answer. If it's in the ball already, I wouldn't cake it up. I would just knit it. What would you do? You've frozen. You'll think I've frozen.
I mean, I've just realised I'm knitting 1 to 4 and 1 to 4.5. You'd frozen, one of us is frozen. I've got 1 on a 4.5 and 1 on a 4.
Oh, I mean, that's...
I've no idea why.
Because you obviously couldn't find the right one. You've just seen blue, haven't you? And just gone, oh, I'm going with that.
Because I changed it. I think when I've transferred it, I've done it wrong. And I take them out and pull it back.
It was for you, that question. But hi, Angie. Thank you for joining us. Angie's joining us for the first time live from Long Island, New York. Oh, I bet you've got beautiful weather there.
Good.
Our friend Kathy's not too far from there. Oh. And the rain has stopped here, but the clouds are very grey, and Dominique's escaped England and she's now in Wales.
Do I knit from the cake or the ball?
Well, you knit from whatever it comes in, don't you?
That's how I knit. So if it's caked already, I always knit from the inside, inside out. And if it's not caked, so if it's one of ours that I've dyed, I can never be bothered to give it to Marie to cake, to give it back to me. I want to knit with it straight away. Or if I've bought skein that's not wound, then I just knit from the skein. It's just so
magic. It's not magic, it's witchcraft. That's what I think it is. It's
so then Drops Flora, I will always knit from the inside, and that one I've just shown that's a little bit, I've pulled too much out, so I've just wound it round, but when I've knit that bit off, I'll then be back to knitting from the inside. So yeah, I just knit from however it comes, and 9 times out of 10 that is the skein.
I mean,
so that is, and I did not ball the minis before I knit it. I just knit it.
She just knit it. I mean, sorry, I'm being very rude here, and I'm on Wensleydale Long Wool Sheep Shop, just looking at what colour blue there is.
Knitcraft, yes. Like I do say, it is a just magic power to have, but it does seem to be a magic power. It
is a magic power, because can you believe that I cannot do it? Can you imagine? I would look like that emoji of me with Christmas lights wrapped around me. I would literally just be, I'd be all fastened up in it, wouldn't I? And I wouldn't be able to get out. Maybe that's a good ploy.
Mandy said earlier that she gets knotted up doing mini skeins, so everyone's different.
Yeah, Judith's saying that some people do. I have seen people cake them. I don't understand. Well, I suppose if you've got time and that's how you like to knit from. I haven't got patience to rewind.
I haven't, because
you certainly haven't, because if you can't be bothered to get from a skein to a cake, you're not going to go from a ball to a cake.
But I knit so easily from the ball.
Oh, Sarah cakes it. I mean, I'm too lazy in as much as I haven't, you know, I want to get on with it. And if I have to, I can't knit from a skein, so I have to put it in a thing. But I would know, no, I would just put it on the ball.
Okay. So, Sarah, why do you cake all your yarn?
What's the benefits of it? I don't. Yeah, I'm interested to know what the benefit is between it.
I mean, like you say, I knit from a skein, so there's no way on earth I'm going to cake anything.
No, you're dead right there. I mean, the only ones that I've struggled with is that I can't even remember what make they are. They're more like a donut type thing. So you start on it and it looks fine, then all of a sudden it gives up on life. It collapses, doesn't it? And then that's when I always think, now what am I going to do with it? And that's usually when I just shove it in a bag and think, I can't deal with it.
But that's like the Zaba balls, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
They did get, as I got to the very, I mean, I nearly took a video, but I was struggling to take a video and pull it. Just how, as you get to the last.
Was that just to make you feel a bit ill? You were going to send me that late at night so that I don't have nightmares.
Just to show people that you really can. It does still hold its shape.
Yeah.
So like we've always said, we are all so different.
Exactly, completely different.
Now, don't get me wrong. There is nothing more satisfying when people put nice pictures on and all the yarns cake, particularly if it's in different colours or it's a bit of a fade. It looks really nice before you start, but that's like hard knitting time for me.
We're learning all sorts here. Stuart says, I'll cake the yarn if it has a loose twist, as it adds to the twist and strengthens it.
Ah. And we have, we've said this on our knit and nats as well, haven't we? And I've found it and I've put a link on before and I might see if I can find it again. Let me make a note. Claire's very knowledgeable about this, but depending on whether it's got an S twist or a Z twist.
Yes.
Depending whether you go from the inside or the outside of the ball, it sometimes can untwist itself, or some people might have noticed as you're knitting, it kind of really twists itself on itself and you have to keep like untwisting your work, and that's all to do with the twist of the yarn. But I've not considered about caking it from a ball because of that.
I just knit it.
I just knit.
Yeah, like I'm not that sensible enough to try and work out what it's doing. I just look at it and think, oh, okay.
I do fancy using, I mean, I could be saying this completely wrong, but I'm going to say it how I would say it and how I've heard it, the Noster pins.
Yes.
I do quite like them because that looks very satisfying. But I wouldn't do. I would do it for the joy of just winding something rather than out of necessity.
I would know. You would not know. It would not. I just wouldn't know. Oh bother.
Yeah.
I haven't got the
they are nice. They look beautiful.
You look beautiful. I haven't got the patience whatsoever. I get bored.
Yeah.
Can you tell I have a low boredom threshold for some things? I'm not very good. I'm like a small child sometimes. And other things, I've got the patience of a saint. It's weird. Really weird.
You have to think about which way you're winding it.
Yeah.
But it's really nice to see and hear, isn't it? How everyone does things differently.
Yeah. It's really good.
From Lucy, who's very, very good and reads the pattern from start to finish before she even starts.
Yes.
Or you or I who are just like...
What do you mean I'm supposed to read those 5 paragraphs before the pattern started that did all the explanations? That wasn't in the pattern, where the pattern to me starts, where it says instructions.
Cast on X amount of stitches.
I'm terrible for not reading it. So if I get a pattern where people have put the explanations all at the beginning and then I start knitting it, I think, well, what's going on here? Because I haven't read it, that's why.
But I mean, I proved that last week with my Paris socks. I couldn't even see column 2. If I'd have read it all properly, I might have seen.
It was good last week though, when all of a sudden you realised what you'd done. It was very good, that. Oh.
Because I'd looked 2 or 3 times thinking, mine does not look like the pattern, why not? I'd gone back and looked at it twice.
But again, because you read what you think you want to read, you just get, you know.
It does say on the mistakes, Lucy. I just...
Where would we be without making mistakes?
Lucy, have you got to the end of your cast off?
I mean, that was a mammoth cast off you were doing.
Was a really long cast off.
I'd have needed gin to go along with that, I think, and then by that I would have not had anything to cast off. It would have just fallen off. They're very nice little teacups you've got there.
I've not had anything to eat or drink since I've left home. So there was a pack of 3 biscuits which I'd eaten. And I've not even unpacked my drinks, so they leave out tea and coffee. So I've made myself a proper pot of tea, and I've just had a pot of tea. It's the first time I've had tea in about a year.
Look at this. I mean, that's a dedication again. Your poor woman's driven all the way from England to Wales and she's not even had anything to eat. I mean, did you not stop and have anything to eat? No. She's very good, isn't she?
I pulled into a service station to text you to say I was on time and then pulled out again.
You mean you didn't have a cheeky Greg sandwich?
No. But I'll have something nice for tea.
Me and Dad went today because after I dropped Scooby off for his pamper session, we nipped into Netherland because I said we had an hour to kill and it was like grey and overcast, and he said, oh, shall we go for a coffee? We were going to go to the place at Welton, and I thought, oh, why don't we try Netherland and see if there's anywhere we can sit outside under cover? So we went to the tea cosy.
Oh, yes.
We sat ourselves down, then it just got so cold. Honestly, it was free. And we're both giggling our heads off going, I can't believe we sat outside eating a jam and cream scone and freezing. My dad was like putting his hands around the teapot because we were so cold. Oh, it was ridiculous. Oh, bonkers. It was lovely, but it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were freezing cold. So it's no fun, is it, when you've got to sit outside and do it? Poor Dad, I think all he wanted was a pint, but he said there's no way he's going to go and sit outside somewhere in the freezing cold.
No. Have you not bought him some beer?
Oh, there's plenty of alcohol here.
But he wants a proper pint in a pub.
He's not been to the pub. The last time he was at the pub was when he was down here last summer. Last September.
Yeah.
We would have gone, but it's just, there's no heaters or anything. It's not.
No fun.
No, whatsoever. Oh, Lucy, you'll soon be finished. It'll be worth it when you're finished.
Will be worth it. Yeah.
So, don't panic about the knit along. We're still working on it.
Yeah.
We haven't, we'll let you know when the release date is.
As soon as we can confirm everything, we will. Yeah.
And the Christmas project that we're working on that as well. So we'll be releasing one or the other very shortly. So the non-advent calendar that's like an advent calendar, but not an advent calendar. That's all I keep saying to people who keep asking me.
It's not like an advent calendar.
Well, it's like an advent calendar and it's mini skeins, but it's not an advent calendar.
And there's not 24.
And there's not 24. No. That's why I say it's like an advent calendar, but it's not an advent calendar.
Not like an advent calendar.
Not. But it is very funny.
I had a knitter natter outside this morning.
Who? What?
I had a knitter natter outside, she said.
Flipping heck, you're good.
I'm going to say that is I think
good.
your finger.
Yeah.
What night? Either way. I think it was Wednesday night. I came home from work, went out for a walk. The sun was out, but the wind was cold. And I'd not put my gloves on. And my fingers, I knew they were cold, and I came straight back in and jumped in the bath and put my fingers in the, oh my God. I didn't realise how cold they were. Oh, and it's that wind. The sun's out here, but the wind's still biting.
Yeah.
I think if I sat outside knitting,
Yeah, it's too cold for me to sat outside in the freezing cold.
Yeah. It's nice because you are starting to get back to some semblance of normality, but
it's nice to see people, isn't it? But it's still all like being limited to the amount of people you can see, and
yeah,
wearing a little bit thin now, wearing a little bit thin. But we had a nice cream tea. We went for the option of lemon curd and jam. So I had one half lemon curd cream and the other one jam and cream.
I love lemon curd and I love scones, but I'm not sure I'd ever want lemon curd on it.
Oh, it was lovely. It's really nice. Very nice.
Lemon curd in a tart. Yes.
15 stitches left, Lucy.
Oh, well done, Lucy.
Yay.
If people don't know, she put on our knit and natter earlier. She was doing 240, I want to say, a lot of stitch cast on. It looked beautiful though, and it is going to look beautiful.
So so I don't think we've got anything else to talk about, have we? We've got lots of things that in the future, like the retreat and everything. As soon as we've got the update, we'll let you know. So don't panic, anybody who's waiting to hear about the retreat.
No, we've said we're just trying to be sensible. So the next government announcement's going to, well, not necessarily the announcement, but step 3, whatever, 2 of the 3 of the roadmap is the 17th of May. So we've already organised to go and see the venue. So we'll know. And actually, everyone keeps saying that we're looking on track for step 3 and 4. So we're still working on it, absolutely going ahead. But until we get to step 3 and then we go and see the venue, we'll have more for you. So
it's like we said, isn't it, that no matter what happens, there's still going to be some sort of social distancing, isn't there? Even in June, we know that they've said that now. And it's what that's going to consist of as to whether we can run it how we want it. So we don't want to run it and have so many restrictions that we can't do and can't, So
I mean, it's a wedding conference, all sorts of they do all sorts of things. So events is the word I'm looking for. So they will know. So we're going to be guided by them. So
and there will be less than 30 of us, which is like the magic number. For wedding venues and things at the minute, isn't it? Or it will be in the next thing. So hopefully it's just how you can do it. I was reading stuff today about it because I've got a birthday party to go to in May, and just looking, and they still can't say until Boris decides what rules you're allowed to do in May for certain things. So who knows?
It just seemed, when they announced this however many weeks ago, like the 17th of May seemed so far in the distance. We're May tomorrow. 17th of May, we're like 2.5 weeks away. So
people are already sorry.
I was going to say, it was 240 stitch tubular cast off. Well done, Lucy.
Well, it's like in the papers they've been saying it may only be weeks away before you can start hugging people.
That's why I've come to a different country. Oh dear. No, it's fine. I'm just going to have to suck it up for a week.
You're just going to have to be like this. It will be weird. I've got to say, it will be weird, won't it? And I think people will be hesitant and be like, there'll be a lot of this going on, I think. Yeah. It is going to be really strange, isn't it? Weird. It's going to be very, very odd. Anyway.
He can't make a decision on his curtains.
Well, he could. He just, we won't go there.
Oh dear.
Who knows? Let's just hope for happy things. It will be amazing to get the retreat up and running.
Everything, just the whole country. I like the rest of the world, because actually I've not really paid much attention. I know France is still in a lockdown, but in the UK, we do look like we're moving in the right direction, aren't we?
Yeah.
And people seem to be being sensible as restrictions ease. So
I think the only one that said they're worried about is when they say that they're gonna in the June. When they sort of let things go in June. Who knows? If everybody, people have been vaccinated, who knows what's going to happen?
Can you all be sensible, please? Because they've imposed a leave ban, and I am starting to get a little bit worried that you could find me out on the Lincoln High Street at 3 o'clock on that first weekend.
Oh my!
So please all be sensible.
Can you imagine what it'll be like? It'll just be utter chaos.
The amount of staff that they've putting on for it.
It'll be like New Year's Eve multiplied by 500.
Yeah, it really will. The only positive is it's June. So instead of being there freezing cold, it should be quite a nice evening.
Ask me if I'll be going out.
I won't be going out unless I'm working. I won't be going anywhere unless I'm working. But
if I'll be going clubbing, Dominique.
No. I mean, like a disco in a village hall, I don't mind.
It's good. Oh dear.
But beyond that, no, thank you.
No.
So,
can you tell we're party animals?
Judith's in Canada, they're in such a mess here. They're looking until June, then we'll predict less than 1,000 cases a day in Toronto.
Flipping heck.
And it's been a long old slog, without doubt. But I do think the UK seem to have got ahead with the vaccination programme, and we are starting to come out, whereas other countries maybe not. So, Jude, fingers crossed you've not got to wait too long.
Yeah.
Things start getting under control. But Lucy's going pole dancing.
Well, I tried that once. Oh, it was hilarious. We used to, we used to do this thing like the first of every month. I was with a group of friends and used to do different things, and we went pole dancing. It was hilarious. It's not good when you've got.
But not only that, I mean, you've been quite honest. You've not got the most upper body strength.
No, I haven't. I've got appalling upper body strength. It's getting better with my Nordic poles. It is getting better. But yeah, I've got rubbish. I'm flexible, but I've got rubbish upper body strength.
Flexible, but I can't imagine you've got enough upper body strength.
Well, it wasn't that. It was the flinging yourself against the pole and having to make contact with the pole. Well, of course, the place that the pole was making contact was the breastage area. And I probably made a lot of money, actually. I had burn marks on my chest from trying to hang upside down. It was just not funny. I literally had pole burn marks on. Yeah, I mean, I could have probably made a lot of money.
It's really good for you. I mean, you've got to be really, really fit.
Yeah, this was like an exercise class one. It was hilarious, honestly. But what we hadn't realised, it was somebody was running the exercise class in some place in Lincoln. I can't even remember where it was. So it was in a club, but they used it for an exercise thing. What we didn't realise is we were upstairs all messing about, like faffing about, and they were videoing it, and it was on downstairs in the flipping bar. That wasn't funny.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely got the strength. I've definitely not got the flexibility.
Yeah, it is really good for your core, because that's where you need it, to be fair. Not necessarily it's your core muscles.
Yeah. No, it is very good for you. But yeah, you're right. You've clearly not had enough gym before it.
Definitely not. Well, on that note.
On that note, yeah.
I need to get some food. What are you having for tea? Feta?
Probably baked feta. Coming here, I'm not going to do it, but I am not far away from, if anyone's seen that zip line, the longest zip line in the world, the UK, that's in Wales. It's just down the road from here.
You're not doing it?
No.
Why?
It gives rain. I mean, that is no thank you. I mean, I'm not very good with heights.
Can you imagine what it would do to my neck? That'd be no good. Or do you sit on, I'd be like this.
No, you're in like a sleeping bag, so you're going down head first with a helmet. There's a little bit of me that would quite like to do it, but I'd have my eyes shut. I'd need to be in traction for about a month afterward to get my neck back out of its.
And I'd be like this. Be no good.
Oh, see, Anne's having feta. It's the food to have.
I like feta. So how do you cook your feta? Do you just bung it in the oven, or do you put anything on it? Do you put any chilies in
Like
it?
feta. I've got a little ramekin. Put it in the ramekin. Bit of olive oil, chili flakes. Bang it in the oven.
So you square feta, you ram it in your ramekin, do you?
I have. Well, I take a portion off. I mean, it depends how hungry I am.
You
and
take
then
the ramekin portion off and it goes in.
Yeah, it's about half a block of feta, so it's quite a bit of feta. But it is nice.
What could possibly go wrong on a zip wire? I mean, exactly. What I would do is you could try knitting going down the zip wire. That would be a good video.
I'm not very good with heights. Well, not very good. I'm no good with heights. So I don't think I'd get any enjoyment from it.
No. And why bother if you're not going to get any enjoyment out of it?
But I didn't know where it was, but I've passed the sign coming in, so it's going to be.
You've seen it, that's enough.
Yes, yeah. I've got too many jigsaws and too many project bags to be doing that.
Round of applause.
Well done, Lucy.
Lucy's cast off. We can go now, Lucy. We were only here to keep you going.
Yeah, we were, to get you to the end. Right, I'll go and I'll go and empty the car first and unpack, and then I'll go and have something to eat.
Get your pyjamas on.
I might just go for a quick walk while the sun's out.
Rub it in while the sun's out. I'm pleased I went for my walk this morning because in fact, this morning it was beautiful, and then it just went downhill, raining.
Yeah.
Saves me watering the plants. Right, well, have a lovely holiday.
Thank you.
We'll see you for Knit and Natters.
Yes, yeah. And I've got to be out at 9 o'clock, 9:30 next Friday, so I'll be back home in plenty of time for 3 o'clock next Friday, back with my boards.
So it is Bank Holiday Monday this weekend. So those people who join us on a Monday, we still do Knit and Natter on a Monday. So
yeah,
don't forget. Otherwise, it'll just be me and Dominique sat there.
That's not, we quite often do that.
Thank you, Dominique, joining us from Welsh Wales.
Well,
have you got your hot takes?
We're just trying to bring light-hearted Friday to everybody, and it's a giggle for us. So Marie did say, well, we could cancel it. I was like, no, let's just do it.
I was more worried you wouldn't get there in time. That's what I was more worried about.
I'd set off in plenty of time, so
plenty of time, and didn't stop to eat or drink.
No, well, but I wasn't hungry or thirsty.
And I bet you didn't have to stop for a wee stop either, did you? I mean, from England to Wales, I'd have had to stop about 4 times, I reckon.
Yeah, I did. The only reason I stopped was just to send you a message. But anyway,
it's not normal. There's something wrong with your bladder.
And I did it all without a map or a sat nav.
Oh, shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Anyway, she's just showing off now.
Oh, thank you, everybody. I will share my knitting views and jigsaws with you.
I look forward to seeing your pictures on social media, please. Thank you very much. Of knitting in various different locations.
If I can get my camera to stop, my phone to stop being blurry. If not, they'll just be blurry pictures.
Guess what this is? It'll be like where's Wally? Where's Dominique? Somewhere. Do we all have to, like, those magic eye pictures where you used to have to do all that weirdness, and I could never see them because I used to have the stigmatism.
Sort of soft filter on it. But
I used to wonder for years as a kid why I could never see them, because I had an astigmatism, so I couldn't see the depth, you see. So that's why. And then when I had my surgery done, I could see them, and I was thinking, now I understand what everybody's got all this. They can see them. I used to think, what on earth are they talking about? There's a dolphin in that picture.
No, there isn't. Oh dear.
Right, we digress.
A lovely bank holiday weekend. Enjoy the weather, whatever it is. If it's cold, stay in a knit.
Yeah. And eat feta if you're in Wales.
Exactly.
Bye,
See you all next
week.